Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Hello guys and welcome to Thrones of Britannia, part of the Total War Saga series, which has just been released today. I've not been one of the fortunate ones who got the game a bit earlier. There were a couple of YouTubers that managed to create a sent them the game and they got it I think about a week earlier, or maybe about 5 days. And this is what I'm going to be focusing on a new series on. I've been waiting for this game for a little while, just because it focuses on Britain as a whole. So if you know the British Isles, where England, Wales, Scotland, Ireland, it really goes in depth on that particular area. And this is between the Viking age, of when the Vikings from Denmark and Norway was coming in Scandinavia and raiding and trying and conquering the lands of the British Isles. So the Saga series itself is, again, going right in depth to Pacific areas that kind of get mixed in with other ones. So you think of Britain in general always gets kind of mixed in with the affairs of Europe. So when usually games cover them, like Rome 2, medieval Total War 1 and 2, they kind of get mixed in as just like England, you know, and you don't really get into the depth of the details of it. But I'm really looking forward to getting into this. And I guess remember, it's like it's not the main series of games. It's kind of like a sidestep, and they're doing like specific games, so that's why it's called Total War Saga. And the cool thing is that I think there's a new game coming out later this year called The Three Kingdoms, which I think focuses on the Chinese, or basically China, their past history, and that's gonna be really cool. But this one it's again specific to me, Britain. You know, I'm from the United Kingdom, so it's cool. I haven't actually played the game yet. I came and loaded up just to make sure everything was running fine. Because I think that's one thing I really need to do is just make sure they get the graphics settings right, turn down any graphics where I feel hampering FPS too much. But yeah, so this is, you can play as different kingdoms. So you've got English kingdoms, Welsh kingdoms, Gaelic kingdoms, Great Viking Army, and the Viking Sea Kings. Now I'm going to be quite boring. I'm going to probably play as West Sussex. I think it's West Seaxe. Oh, is it? I just got Sussex, you know. That's how I would pronounce it, but it maybe was pronounced differently back in the day. But you've got all these different kings you can play. So I think there's 2 for each particular cultural area. So as you can see here, so you've got the Gaelics, you've got the Greats. So you can play as different ones. And this is how it's divided in the 9th century that... Was it 8th century? 8th, 9th century that England actually was. It wasn't a kingdom till later down the line when it finally got united under the West Sussex banner. And I think it was, got Alfred here, but one of the kings of this West Sussex kind of took control of England, and that's how the Kingdom of England was formed. Obviously, there's a lot of details I'm missing out then. I'm kind of glossing it over a little bit. But I'm going to go in with them. It's an easy challenge. It's got a large territory. It's got quite a few different... I think it's one of the easiest probably factions to play in the game because it has the biggest control. It looks like it's got quite a few client states or... under its control, and there's different. There's a cultural feature here which is kind of nice. So, is it Fires? Part-time soldiers pledged to leave their farms for military service each year can recruit levy units based on the number of owned settlements. Plus 25% commander's aura to all characters. Plus 5 melee skill for all units when defending. And it's also got a fact-specific one, which is Wintan, which is the Anglo-Saxon National Assembly meeting to discuss progress and make new proposals. Cool. 5% XP for all generals per turn, which could be quite strong. And strong armoured sword and spear units, impressive late game cavalry. Wow. So that is for West Sussex. And there's also Mercia. But again, I'm going to play as these guys. We're going to have normal for everything. I'm not going to get into too depth. I'm quite skilled when it comes into Total War games. I've played them since the original Total War. But I don't want to get in too much. So we'll have a 40-minute turn timer for battles. I'm going to have it high for the advisory just because there's a lot that's apparently... There's bits that's changed in the game. I don't want to mix anything. And then you've got different victory objectives as well. So I'm not sure which one I want to go for. Conquest is normally the one that I always kind of easily go for, but there's new different ways of doing stuff. So there's a Short Kingdom Victory, Long Kingdom Victory. You've got Fame, as you can see here, Ultimate Victory, which is based as Conquer Everything, I think. And then you've got Long Conquest and Short Conquest. But we'll see. So let's get in.
For a decade we fought them, the tide of battle ebbing back and forth. Until finally they were defeated. defeated, and their great army fled our lands. Now, England lies divided. Its old political order washed away. Too long have we fought amongst ourselves. Now is the time to unite as England.
England is divided, weakened from a decade of fighting. West Seaxe has suffered greatly, but its star is on the rise. It is your fate to bring order back to these lands. You have vassals under your protection who are sworn to aid you in time of war. They are Gwent and Glewisic to your northwest, Defon and Kernu to your west, and Saxe and Kent to the east. It is important to maintain good relations with your vassals. If you do not, they may choose to break your treaty rather than join your war. Rumors abound of new Viking incursions in the south. You will need to build up your defenses there to make sure you are not caught off guard when they strike. One of your armies is ready to attack the southern rebels. Dealing with this threat promptly will bring much needed stability to your lands.
And there we are. That was the intro for the Saxe. Again, I'll probably pronounce this wrong so many times because it's different from the way it's been named in other games, this particular area of time. I think the closest that I can remember at this particular time was the Crusader Kings 2, which I played, which focused on this particular area as well. We should stabilise internally before we look beyond our borders. Prove your right to rule and eliminate the nearby rebels. Oh, that's kind of a cool little beginning. That's what I like about Total War games. Yeah, go away. I like the idea that they kind of give you a bit of a tutorial to begin with, to give you a weak army to have a battle in, and so you can kind of get it. And it's, again, quite a large size already. As you can see, we control quite a lot of provinces, and we also have, as you can see, quite a lot of vassals. This is one of the things that made this particular petty kingdom, as you would call it, in particular times, very, very strong, is that they had a lot of vassals. But let's get in. So, yeah, it's kind of cool. It's neat, and obviously we've got Stonehenge here. What's that? Wilton. So what army we got here? So we've got Alfred the General, we've got Coral Spear, Thanes, some more archers, and then we've got some Horsemen Scouts. And what they got? So let's jump into battle. Why not? You know, it's start off the game with a good particular one, and we'll get into some more of the specifics. Again, I'm learning all this from scratch. I've, again, covered a couple of videos, but it's one of the ones I'll learn as I go, so I'll probably make mistakes. I can rename armies as well, but I don't think I can rename generals, which is always something I've wished that you could do in Total War games, because I like to get subscribers involved, or people who leave comments on my videos involved. So if you've got any names for particular armies you want to be named after, or any cool names, like instead of having the swine array, array, I'm assuming it would probably be pronounced, we could change the name a little bit. But anyway, let's get into this battle.
Battle is upon you.
Yes, it is, I can see.
To auto-resolve, fight,
so what's Night Attack do? Night Attack prevents reinforcements, also reduces visibility in line of sight.
And is recommended for your first battle.
Okay, so the usual kind of setup is here. We've got auto-resolve, we've got manual fight, and we've got retreat. Well, I want to jump in with manual fight and see how this goes. I'm just trying to check around, so we've got different bonuses. So, yeah. Right, we're in. It's dry, there's no effects. I really love the art style of this game, and even the loading screens change as well, so if you haven't seen it, they actually give you more specific details about the army that you're facing, so you can actually see the general's strengths and what level they are and all that kind of stuff. It's really nice. It's one thing that I think was lacking in quite a few games in general. Yeah, I know they must be deployed in battle. This part I do know. Oh, yeah, so there. So, I haven't played the last 3 main games in the series, which was, I think, Attila. I haven't played Attila. I didn't play Warhammer 1 and 2. So I'm going in from experiences from back when Rome was released. Because I kind of missed out on quite a lot of it. But we're attacking these guys. So let's see what we've got. So we've got some Thanes. So we can actually only strength them out too much, which is good. And these guys have got shields. Can I get rid of this? There's a pinned unit, okay. I'm just wondering is all the... Yeah, so I can actually get rid of the UI at least. So that's kind of cool. That's one thing I like to do. So these are the Thanes. These are tier 1. It's learning everything from scratch again, which is always a bit of an interesting one. So we'll get the Spearmen up next on the right. And then we'll get the Archers behind. We'll get the Cavalry coming up from the right-hand side. And then what is my general unit on it? Who's not even in Cavalry, is he? So we probably want to put him just behind for now. We'll group these guys up. We've got Shield Wall or Guardmore. Wow, jeez, this is going to be really cool. I'm just so exhilarated at the moment just to be playing this type of game where it focuses on Britain. You don't know how much this means to me. I know, again, you could play British factions in the past, but it's just nice to be able to potentially create the Kingdom of England in the long run. But anyway, enough stalling around. We've got 40 minutes. Well, hopefully it won't be that long. And we'll get in. So what we got coming in here? So we got these guys. Get off. Get rid of that. This one thing I might want to see if I can get rid of at some point. Because it won't... I don't want this here. So we got some Royal Champions. And they're quite strong. They're elite swords. And some archers. Spears. And then the cavalry unit. So the idea I want my cavalry to take their cavalry out, and then I'll be able to potentially go around the flank with some units. So it's like use these two to engage. So let's move forward. Oh, do we not have the... Oh, you can't do that again. Wow, that's different. So that has changed. Normally we used to be able to highlight them all and hold left click and drag them, but that's not in the game. Okay. Let's get the archers in, and then get recovery from strong units. Let's get the cavalry moving up. Now these cavalry are kind of moving, so I want to see what they do. Right, let's charge in. We got the wedge formation. Oh, they're switching to it as well. Oh, yeah, the battle's in. Oh, wow, that's different. So that you actually they've run through and come back. Right, so we want these guys to pelt them. And I want to get this guy around, because I've got the unit advantage where I've got more numbers. Okay. So who's winning here? I think we're even. Yeah, it's quite an even one. So I want to get round and then hit these guys from behind if possible. Make them rout. Right. Go. Get him. Here we go. Nice. So we've got them from behind. They should start to be... Yep. Scared as hell. Low threat. Yep, that's really good. Looks like our cavalry has won the day here. Nice. So chase them down. Alright, there we go. Alright, let's get these guys in. Let's get round. There we go. Get the cavalry chasing them down. Look at that sprint speed. Wow. Oh, that's devastating. Right, so these guys are basically slashing through my Thanes, so let's get them in. And then we'll also use a taunt mechanism. Just to say, hey, you're gonna die. Let's get some metal in. Nice, he's dead. Victory! He's moments away. There we go. And there we go. That's the end. Decisive victory. Oh, it's always nice when it comes together quite well. And there we have it. So we lost 96 men, but we eliminated theirs completely, so we just basically decimated them. And we've still got the usual, so what's that, ransom and release. Take on warriors, which is good for replenishment. So take those willing to fight your army, replenish your ranks. Their inexperience in your force, however, will affect your army's skill. So it's kind of like you get a buff to replenishment, but you tend to get hit on skill level. And then you've got kill captors. Leave none alive. Killing every last survivor may satisfy the thirst of blood, but your enemy and their allies will take great exception to this. However, if the enemy of your enemy will like you more for it. Well, these guys are just rebels, so they're not really in one particular, so let's just kill them. There we go. Allegiance rebels, rank 1, so enemy killed in battle. Mission succeeded, so what do we get? Internal stability for 5 turns. Cool. Right, so what do you think is probably a good idea? So I'm just trying to... A lot's changed in the game. Apparently the way settlements work is different, so you don't... you can walk in and take settlements. You don't defend against them, so they don't have like... so this one here, Baffinster, doesn't have a garrison, so if someone comes with an army and takes it, they'll just take it automatically. Where if you have an army there, say I had this army here, and I put it in... say Saffensburg, it'll have to obviously be a battle for it. I think main settlement still classes it, so I think they still have garrison. Yeah, but it's the ones which like the little settlements don't. They've still got the province system going on here, so as again you control a province. And there's a lot that's changed now. Did they still have the civic bonus? No. Okay, so this is very interesting indeed. I'm gonna have to just learn a lot of this as I go along, to be honest, which is again that I love about new games. So we've got internal stability, which is good. What's this? Warfare. So who are we at war with? Where's the oh, it's up here now. Economic, technology, diplomacy, factions, or faction itself, and objective. So these are all the main objectives which I've got. So we've got short conquest, long conquest. I mean, we could go for short kingdom victory, which would be we need to take part of Mercia and then Middle Seaxe, which is this area. A little diplomacy. Are we at war with anyone at the moment? Don't think we are. What does the war symbol look like? That'd be good. There's a lot of factions in this game, though. So this is East Angle. We've got Grattanborough. So I'm just trying to think where do I want to go. Because again, I want to keep my vassals happy. So these guys are all my vassals. So it's like my east and west are more or less secure. And I can push north. So the biggest faction to worry about is Mercia. Which are these guys here. Now how are they at me? What's their relationship with me? So their attitude is... Oh. Positive. Okay, cool. What about these guys? They're all a bit boring. Apparently the way trades work is different as well. That all trades, if you're not at war with each other, the trades are automatic. So you don't have to worry about going to them and going, oh, can we have a trade agreement, please? But what's probably a good idea is just having a look at what we've got. So vassals, so Grattanborough is their vassal, which is these guys. So it's these. But these aren't. So it might be worth just to go north and take this area if possible. So it would mean move my armies up, go to the settlement of Dorchester. So we'll do that. So where's my army? So we move up. We want to get all the way to Dorchester as like a little holding point, and then we'll move through and attack. Oh. Okay, so that's remain action points. Okay. And there's also a new supply element here, so current supplies. Buildings, battles won, casualties suffered. Oh. I've got another army up here. So what army's in this? So these have spears. I could actually use these to move this way and go to Dorchester if I want to. So what's my money per turn? So I've got 5,000 income to spend. Wow. Okay, so let's just have a little nose around what we can do here. I don't know what the best thing to do to begin with is. I'm not too sure. I'm not sure what buildings to focus on or where, but obviously I'm assuming that we want Wintan. I think this is Winchester, but it's named Wintan Siesta. So what's these? This is fame, so it increases my fame, and also it's a church. Okay. This gives minus food production, but it gives me it gives me access to Fane's garrison. Supplies, which is always nice to have. Now, is there a supply limit somewhere? So that's the food surplus. Okay, so units take up supplies. So I guess when we start running low on supplies, we would then think to go, you know what, we need to increase this a little bit. Right, can we recruit some units?
Any general commanding an army can recruit from the
global pool
available to your faction, as long as they are fortified or garrisoned within a settlement.
Okay.
Units are added to the army immediately when recruited, but at low strength.
So we can have like axemen here. We've got swordsmen, bowmen, skirmishers, melee cavalry. We've already got 2 spearmen, and I think we could do with some swordsmen. So we'll actually get some axemen. And oh, they actually come now with not full strength, which is a bit interesting. And I think that'll do. And then we can move this unit to the west next turn, and we can actually think about who we attack. We'll do that.
Units recruited at low strength, or those that have taken casualties in battle, will replenish their numbers over time. Armies replenish faster when garrisoned within a settlement.
So this whole idea of putting them in settlements would help. So we can do that next turn. Is there a forced march? No. Okay. So we want to go to... We'll send this guy to Winchester. I'm going to call it Winchester because I think that's what it is. I could be completely wrong, and Winchester's in a different place in the UK, but that's how I pronounce it. But these are like old English names. That's Effendon, Wilton, Bassengas. Obviously that's Dorchester. Because where's London on here then? Oh, there, London. Yeah, London. Cool. So anyway, I need to spend some money. So again, I'm going to improve my capital some more. I think that's probably the best way to go. So this would give us less food production, which is minus 15. Which wouldn't be too bad, I don't feel. So we can go for that. It's going to take 6 turns. Wow. That gives us more fame. So what can we do to get that surplus? So I guess the idea is that major settlement, minor settlements. So your minor ones you can upgrade over time if you choose to, which is basically all these settlements. So we can get the cloth production. And we got what we got here. What can you do? Siore takes food surplus. This gives better trade. Pottery, market, industrial, small orchard. There's a lot of money to be focusing on a lot of these, so we'll get that. And then I'm going to end the turn there, and I just want to see what happens because it's kind of. When you get into a new game, it is a bit overwhelming in a sense that there's a lot that's changed. You don't know what the hell's going off, and we could see what happens next. But we're in spring, so I think it's going to be like a 4-turn per year kind of sense again. Okay, mission issued. When Alfred first took the throne of West Seaxe, he followed it up with a glorious victory over the great Viking army led by the vicious barbarians Guthrum. Now it is time for us to finish that fight and permanently deal with East Anglia. Wipe them out.
One of your noblemen has increased in rank and gained a skill point. Skill points can be spent to gain bonuses from their retinue of followers. Click the notification at the top of the screen to be taken directly to this character's details page.
Oh, is this what these are now? So this is unassigned skill.
Available skill points may be spent.
Right, get away. I'll work it out as I go along. So this is replaced. I know this is one of the reasons why that we don't have agents anymore. Agents have gone completely from the game, and they've been replaced by these. So you can have these skills. So you would call them followers. So traits and items and effects and like that. These all change over time depending on what your character's doing. Where followers is you do specific things. So I'm looking at I got zeal, governance, command. I think zeal is that. Where's loyalty? So he's got an okay governance policy. His zeal's all right. I don't see his loyalty though anywhere. It's one thing you apparently have to really focus on. It's 29. Wow, he's a general at 29. But then again, that's probably considered quite old in back then. So what we can get, we've got champion. Powerful men attract enemies. This one ensures that they never get close enough to strike. So plus 1 combat and plus 5 from kind of unit. This is governance, zeal, unit replenishment. So forager, pillager, which is raiding, quartermaster, which is movement range, priest, which is plus loyalty. Now I can't see where loyalty is on here. You'd think it'd be somewhere up here, but it's not. I don't know if he needs any more loyalty at the moment. But -2 enemy, local enemy province, and siege. Just trying to think which one of them would be a good one to go to. Because what does zeal do? Zeal increases command aura. So I'm tempted to increase that a little bit. Yeah, we'll get that. That's kind of cool. Oh, this is Alfred. This is actually my my main guy, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, that's why he's got zeal. He's not got loyalty. Oh, stupid me. He's the one who's in charge, King Alfred. I really wish you could change the name. Okay, who we got? We got governor. Okay, so this is where the loyalty comes in. So he's got a loyalty of 5 out of 10, which is good. His command is quite horrible, but his governance would be useful. So it might be a good idea just to, seems he is a governor, we'll increase him by 1. So we'll get a scribe. Okay, cool. And then we got another guy. And this is our general moving up. Okay. So he's got 6 loyalty, influence of 4. He's got a 4 level command. So we might want to just add a... We don't need to add any loyalty on because he's got quite high loyalty as it is. Campaign movement speed, quartermaster. Command force or own armies in governed province. We'll get pillager. Yeah, that'd be a good one. Sweet. So we're going to have this guy run up to Dorchester. It's like Oxford, Buckingham, Northampton. I can kind of make out some of the names just by how they're pronounced, but this is Northampton or Buckingham. But obviously the names changed over the course of the years. I know I keep going back to these. Anyway, let's go back to you. So this guy will now replenish quicker over the course of a few turns. But obviously we want, the main idea is we want to take the East Angles out. That's the main issue. We get influence for Alfred when we do that. So I'm going to send Alfred down. I'm going to send him this way. Probably to one of these settlements, and then we can attack London. So we can take that. What else we got? So we got some money to spend. Let's increase this guy's army some more. Or can he not? Armies can only recruit if they are garrisoned in a settlement or using the fortified stance. Oh, okay, so we're going to wait till next turn for that one. So let's increase this particular one. So it's going to take 5 turns. We probably want to get... I think to make up for what we're going to lose in food production, we probably should just get some more. So we get a beach market. It gives food production of... Oh, not by much, actually. Oh, wow, these actually don't give too much, do they? We'll get them. It's going to take 4 turns, but I feel that once that does, it replenishes what we're going to lose here. So we're going to lose 15. Actually, no, we don't actually need to do that because that'll place 10. We can use one of these instead. Yeah, let's get the church up. There we go. And that's all my money for this turn. And then let's go in.
Technologies become available to research once certain requirements have been met.
Oh, that's a bit different.
Technology screen to browse technologies and the conditions required to unlock them.
Okay, so technology screen, this one. So apparently now you don't click them to research them based on just you go up a tech tree as you normally would do. Now you have to do certain requirements to get them. So if I wanted to increase my melee units, I need to recruit 10 swords or axe infantry. Units provided by the garrison building account also count towards this. So if I upgrade particular buildings, and this unlocks the royal fanes, or if I want better spearmen, missile units, siege, you've got to do certain things to increase that. So if I want better siege units, I have to actually win siege battles. But I don't think I can unlock anything just yet. But what do you think what I should go towards? I mean, recruiting melee specialists is always a good thing because it means we get access to elite sword infantry. I guess it really depends what you're coming up with. This is the civic tree, is it? And again, we've not really looked at anything here. So, fist fighters, tool makers, watermills, build and upgrades with a granary or southern chain. Okay. So we can't do anything yet anyway, because we haven't been given the ability to unlock anything yet, because they're all, as you can see, they've all got padlocks on. That's fine. That's kind of cool. So yeah, what shall I do? Well, we're going to send Alfred into Winchester and then recruit some units. I think that's a good one. So what we got? I could do with some more Thanes, to be honest, and some more Spearmen. So we grab you, and then we also grab another Spearman. Get some Long Axemen. And then we probably want to grab another... Are they the same? Scout Horse? Yeah. And I think that will do quite well. It's going to take 50 food off me to maintain this. But I feel that's going to be worth to do. So it kind of knocks us down to that level. Okay, so that's fine. So we recruit these units, and I'm going to move up to... I wonder if minor settlements count. I don't know if they do. So I'm going to move up to Guildford. Kind of cut through this area. And then we'll go to Ebon Sam, and we'll camp up, and then we'll get ready to attack. So we'll take London if possible. So maybe the idea would be to have both my armies move down and take... Because it's one of the missions, I like to just do the missions at what it tells me, what it says for the mission to be. Okay, this guy could have some cavalry units, I feel. So let's get some cavalry in there with you. And there we go. So it's kind of knocked our food down quite a bit, but next turn it's going to drop a little bit more, but that's cool. We can wait their next turn, and then see if we can increase anything more. What's these? Hunting barracks. It gives you furs, more farm. Oh, there's always all these different things you can be doing. I just want to do upgrade places which are far from potentially being attacked, but you never know, someone might decide to land and raid me. Yeah, we get that one. Upgrade that estate, and that takes us in. So let's move on to next turn.
There are multiple routes to victory. Unify your...
Yep, I can see that. We've had some foreigners trespassing. Thunder and Lightning. Allegiance East Angles, trespassing on my land. Foreign forces entered our territory without permission. So we don't show what the intentions are. They could be attacking. But I've obviously got an army moving up. So we'll move up to, again, Guildford. And obviously I'll move this army down. Now, again, we're into winter. So it's not usually the best time to move armies around, because I don't know if there'll be some kind of attrition for moving armies in winter. What I'm going to do, again, this is just the first session so far, the first episode in the series, so I'm going to leave that there for the time being. There's a lot to get into, so if you do have any kind of general hints or tips or anything I should be doing in the game that you kind of know of yourself, or you've seen, or you've maybe watched some other YouTubers' videos, so kind of already got this information, then please by all means leave in the comments below. But all I'm going to say is thank you very much for watching. Remember, if you enjoy what you're seeing, and please by all means leave a like, comment down below, share this video, and even subscribe to my channel. Stay tuned for my next one, but until then, I'll see you later.